Hi again, Mike here. Today I am working on the insulation panels that will go into the rear windows when I'm not driving, and also into these insets where there would possibly be windows if you wanted them in other models. Mine does not have them, and those panels will be kind of permanently installed, though you'll see that it won't really be permanent. But the first thing I'm doing is I am creating templates out of cardboard, which will then be used to trace onto the plywood and other materials that will go into those panels. After creating cardboard templates for both of the windows and all of the interior panels, I traced them onto 1/8 inch Luan, cut them out with a jigsaw, and then fine-tuned them using a Dremel tool. I then traced the same patterns onto 1/4 inch pink insulating foam and then used those as templates for cutting out Reflectix. I then glued the Reflectix to the pink insulation using a spray adhesive. Finally, I glued those insulation panels onto the Luan boards before gluing them onto my stereo fabric. I then used my hand to smooth out the fabric on the Luan board to get rid of wrinkles. Next, I trimmed the fabric, leaving about a 4-inch overhang. I then sprayed that overhang with the same spray adhesive. After giving the adhesive a few minutes to set up, I then folded over the edges all the way around the board, trimming additional fabric as needed. Finally, I verified the fit of the panel in the van window. The panels are adhered to the van using countersunk magnets, screws, and screw caps. I also had some plastic boots that went over the end of the magnets to protect the metal, but I found that those actually lowered the magnetism and ultimately did not use those. I drilled holes in each of the 4 corners of each panel. Ultimately, I found that it was easier to drill through the fabric if I put a piece of wood between the drill and the insulation panel. I would suggest doing so if you adopt this approach. I then attached the magnet assembly to each of the corners of each panel. Ultimately, I was really happy with how the panels turned out. I have 6 of them in total, and I did add an additional magnet to the ones that remain in place at all times to help them stay there when driving.